2.10. Some common plotting pitfalls. We've spent some time merrily plotting our sitcom episode ideas. We have characters doing things that make sense to them and creating problems in their own lives and in the lives of those around them. What are some of the pitfalls of this process? 1. Impatience. As I've been trying to emphasise in previous pages, get used to the idea this process takes time. If you manage to plot your way to a funny scene, that's great. But spend another half hour seeing if that plot can be improved, be made more natural, more in character, and you get to an even funnier scene. Turn off the internet and do it again. 2. Lack of confidence. You might have thought of some key jokes in that funny scene and aren't all that confident that you'll think of new jokes if you change things too much. Jokes are just jokes. Don't get trapped with the no joke left behind policy. The plot has to be right, or the jokes won't matter. The stories have to be faithful to the characters. Jokes are the icing on the cake. You need lots of brilliant icing, but you need a cake. Don't worry. If your characters and plots are working well together, the jokes will come. If you take the time to work at them, again, you may need to turn off the internet and concentrate. 3. Meandering. Does your story escalate or meander? Your hero needs a proper quest with escalating calamity rather than a series of events. Your hero's attempts to achieve their quest shouldn't merely fail but make things worse. The protagonist has to steal something back to achieve their goal, but they don't just fail to steal it, they are arrested and locked up for the night, making the quest 100 times harder. Also, who stands to lose if your character succeeds, and how do they try to stop your character succeeding? We don't just want catastrophe, but conflict. If you're struggling for complications and catastrophes, maybe the goal is wrong. Maybe they should succeed fast and face the unintended consequences of that, like in a plot seesaw. See chapter 2.8.3. 4. Third act magic wands. Your plot solution at the end of the show to your character's problem should not involve new characters, new themes, new elements, or even a new object that we haven't encountered before. The ingredients to your plot resolution should have been there almost all along. Your character needs to climb down, change their mind, and or do that thing they didn't want to do, surprise, surprise, which turns out not to be as bad as they expected. Or worse, but with a positive side effect. 5. No clear moment of success or failure. What's your clear toss? I mention it again because it's really important. How does the audience know our character has succeeded or failed? Your character wants something. What is it, and how do we know they've achieved it? There has to be a critical moment, a swift reveal of something tangible, ideally a hot prop. It could be an object of significance that is handed over, or destroyed, or something broken is fixed, or something lost is found, a form of words said to someone, an apology, a proposal, an involuntary verbal response. We, the audience, need to know in advance what that is. An example of this is Hank Kingsley in The Larry Sanders Show, Season 1, Episode 7. Hank is holding out on his contract because he wants to be taken seriously by the studio. He demands a golf cart that he can drive around the set as part of his new deal. I want a golf cart is the key. When we see him in one, we know he's won. Except there's a nice twist. He gets the cart, but we discover he's paid for it himself to save face. When you're plotting the show, ask yourself, what is your golf cart? And can we all see it at the end, please? 6. Too slow. Comedy is fast, and your plot can be escalating and you can have a golf cart ready to go, but can you get there faster or go one better, one bigger after that? When plotting Miranda, we would try and think what the huge set-piece scene for the ending would be, and then how to get there halfway through the show rather than spin it out to the end. So we would deal with the fallout from the big scene, which would lead to an even bigger one. In the episode of Miranda I mentioned in chapter 2.8.3, with Miranda reading Mein Kampf to children and punching a vicar, there is a whole first act in which Miranda has to give a eulogy to a full church at a funeral for an unknown person and falls into a grave. Say what you like about Miranda, it's not slow.